This is what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is King.
Tonight, exactly 1 year after his arrest, we're seeing for the first time the stunning body camera footage showing the moment police confront accused killer Luigi Mangione. Officers pulling up to an Altoona, Pennsylvania McDonald's after the manager called 911 about a customer who resembled the suspect wanted for the murder of a CEO in New York City. The officer first walks by to have a look at the man seated with his breakfast in the back corner, then doubles back to approach.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Yeah, put your mask down real quick for me. Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The White House says the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Tensions between the two countries reaching a fever pitch. 1 week after promising land strikes on Venezuela, President Trump again signaled there's more to come.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually.
A Senate vote to address the looming spike in premiums for millions of Americans is fast approaching. Senate Democrats are expected to force a vote on their proposal of a clean 3-year extension of those expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. That legislation is expected to fail. And meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader John Thune told reporters this afternoon that Republicans will offer up their own plan, a bill to expand access to health savings accounts.
Without this economy, there's no world. You know, you can go to some of these wonderful countries that you think are so great. Well, one of the reasons they're great is because we allowed them to get rich off of us. Use Switzerland as an example, but Switzerland paid almost nothing in terms of a tariff or a tax or whatever you want to call it, license. They paid nothing, and you know, they're paying now. They're paying a fair amount. I had them at 39%, but I decided to be nice. I was nice, and I think they like us a little bit better.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily. We're here live in Washington, D.C. Today is December 11th, 2025, Anno Domini. And today we're going to have a roundtable discussion on the threat of leftist violence here in America, and really all across the West. And to do so, how interesting that we've got we've got two native-born Americans, and that we've got one American immigrant and one American friend. So joining me here in studio is the great Dr. Charles Cornish-Dale of Oxford. You may know him as the Raw Egg Nationalist. What's up, man?
It's great to be here, Jack.
And of course, my wife, the beautiful and lovely Tiny T Posobiec.
Thank you for having me on.
And for having you, she says, for having you.
Well, I don't always get the
She didn't have a choice, folks.
So
she didn't have a choice. And then joining us via remote is the great pollster, the People's Pundit, Rich Baris. What's up, Rich?
Living the dream, Jack. Thanks for having me on, as always, brother.
And right now in a courtroom in Utah, the courtroom in Utah, Charlie Kirk's accused murderer, Tyler Robinson, is conducting his first in-person hearing. And we do have correspondents covering that. We'll be able to get you all the information as soon as it comes out. And guys, look, the reason that I wanted to do this is quite simple, is that we all know that we're facing a serious threat, and the threat is as real as it gets. We just passed the 3-month mark of Charlie's murder, and that was real. And in fact, this is the studio, this is the chair that I was sitting in when I found that all out. I think about it every single time I come here. It's all I can think about when I'm sitting here, quite frankly, that what's gonna happen when I get another comment in that another one of my friends got shot and killed out on some campus or out at some event, or God forbid, one of these Turning Point students when they're out there just going up with a table, because what you do worry about is copycat violence. And unfortunately, I just don't think, and you know, Charles, you mentioned this before, we talked about it the other day, people just don't take it seriously.
No, people don't. I mean, there's been polling that shows that I think a majority of Americans don't even think that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. You know, you've got people excusing the murder and saying, you know, this is just...
Or if they do, they think that his motives were some nebulous, you know, he may have been a groyper, he may have been an anarchist, he may not have been political at all.
Yeah, which is crazy because, of course, you only need to look at the practical effects, actually, of what Charlie's murder has achieved to see that, you know, it serves the leftist purpose perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, you've killed one of America's most important young Republicans, one of, you know, the right wing's shining stars, a man who would have done 20, 30 years of incredible organization. You know, he's the future of the Republican Party. I mean, why wouldn't a leftist murder Charlie Kirk? I mean,
no, it stands to reason, and I do, because people always say, you know, oh, what's the who benefits the most? Well, the left obviously benefit the most by far, and there's no question, cui bono. And you know, people have brought up alternate theories and brought up other questions, but I think the simple answer, the Occam's razor here, is that who benefits the most? It's the political left. By far, benefits the most. Will other people benefit in some marginal ways? Maybe. You know, I'm sure we can all speculate about indirect effect. But the most direct, immediate benefit to Charlie Kirk's murder has to be to the political left by taking somebody off the board who not only would have gone on to be such a star nationally and internationally. He actually just spoke at Oxford. And but someone who was running rings around them in the here and now. Okay, we'll be right back. Quick break. The political violence panel today here on Human Events Daily. We'll be right back. Real America's Voice. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.